Song number 7 now. And I don't know if you can see, but it's snowing in Austria. I don't know if you can hear in my voice. I've been really sick. So I made a song, but I didn't make the part where I explain the exercise. So I'm just gonna grab an old video of Ross, who is the author of the book this challenge is based on, and he's basically gonna explain the exercise in this older video we still have sitting around. And then I'll show you what I made from the exercise and show you the DAW session. Hopefully you can learn something from that too. The exercise we're using this time is called Amplify Active Voice. It's gonna make lyrics more poignant and bring songs to the point. If you're new to the challenge, watch the introduction video where I explain how it works, what it's all about. We're making 10 songs in 10 weeks, and this is number 7. Okay, have fun.
Active voice puts your sentences in the driver's seat. They get straight to the point. To do this, you put the subject of your sentence in star position, doing the action. Okay, just a quick overview of the English language. Nouns, these are words that name people, places, or things or ideas. For example, dog, London, happiness, computer. Verbs are actions or states of being words. They describe what someone or something does or is. For example, run, think, is, or create. Adjectives are words that describe or modify nouns, giving more information about them, like red, as in red apple, or fast, as in the fast car. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, often describing how, when, where, or to what extent an action is performed. So quickly, as in runs quickly, or very, as in very happy, or tomorrow, as in leaving tomorrow. Okay, so first things first is to create 4 sentences with actions. E.g., running late for a dinner date and you get into a car crash just as you arrive. So something with action, right? And then choose the most tantalizing scene of your 4 and write for 10 minutes about that action. So use only nouns and verbs, no adjectives or adverbs, right? Only nouns and verbs, write for 10 minutes, go. Okay, now you're back from your 10 minutes. Let's talk about other considerations. So, in passive voice, the action is done to the subject rather than by the subject. So, for to be verbs, which is am, is, are, was, were, followed by past participles ending eg or en. For example, the cake was eaten by the child. The cake is the subject, receives the action. Passive constructions often include by phrases, though not always. Active voice, conversely, has the subject performing the action. So the child ate the cake. Right, the child there is the subject. So active voice makes your sentences clearer and more direct by showing who is doing the action very clearly. Okay, so now read over your writing and look for any passive voice sentences and replace them with active voices. And then end with impact. So identify the most impactful words in your sentences. Rearrange your sentences to end with the most impactful word. For example, in her eyes, storms raged, not storms raged in her eyes, right? Because the storms rage is the most impactful part there. Okay, next is zombie noun hunt. So again, rereading your writing. And looking for zombie nouns. So what are zombie nouns? They're also called normalizations. They're words that put people to sleep. They're often formed from other parts of speech, typically verbs or adjectives. They often end with suffixes like able, ants, antsy, iron, ism, itty, meant, ness. And really they transform the actions or qualities into abstract nouns. For example, decide becomes decision, right? So they're becoming more abstract. And happy becomes happiness. And while they can condense complex ideas into single words, nominalizations can also make sentences more passive and wordy. They obscure clarity and diminish impact. Academics love them. Songs don't. Here are some examples so you know what to look out for. So let's look at this sentence full of zombie nouns. So the undead is... the completion of the project was achieved by her. So this sentence is clear but passive and lacks energy. A more straightforward active voice approach to that would be she completed the project, right? It says exactly the same thing but a lot clearer and with more strength. Another sentence full of zombie nouns. His songwriting had an urgency that captured the audience. Kind of sounds pretty, right? Effective in conveying a sense, but slightly awkward. So maybe something like his urgent songwriting captivated the audience. Kind of a lot more direct. Okay, so go back over your writing and look for any zombie nouns and turn them back into verbs or adjectives. Next up is the power of short sentences. So it's particularly important when writing lyrics to deliver impact with brevity. Short sentences really cut through narratives, highlighting key moments with stark clarity. So let's have a look at this example of a long versus short sentence. So the long one, as the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the city, he realized with a deep sense of foreboding that the time was running out and he needed to make a decision. Versus the sunset, time was running out. He had to decide. So the longer version, the description sets a scene, but it dilutes the sense of urgency. The shorter sentences in the second version, however, immediately convey a sense of impending doom. And the need for swift action. The short, choppy structure mirrors the characters' racing thoughts and the ticking clock. So now, in your writing, look for opportunities to use shorter sentences for impact. Variety is really the key. Not all your lines must be short. Throw a few in the mix, and then when you go to write the melody for your music, you'll have natural sounding moments of rhythmic change. And that will keep your listeners engaged. Alternatively, save your short lines for a particular song section, e.g. the pre-chorus. And then expand cinematically. So use more scene writing to expand your work into all of the sections. Keep active voice and imagery vivid. And repeat all the checks that you've done above on your new sections. And then put your lyrics to music. Experiment with different melodies and chord progressions to fit the urgency of your lyrics, and follow the continuous composer method to finish your song.
Song, songity song. This is my song. It's called Moderate Ice Warning. My voice wasn't working at all. And I thought it was really cool. You know when you're sick and you have like this deep soul voice? So I thought I was gonna make like a sexy soul voice song, which I never do. But I ended up making something that's more my style. I wanted my song to sound like I'm dying. So you can tell me if I succeeded. So Moderate Ice Warning, I'll play for you and then I'll show you the DAW session. I don't mind the winter's darkness. It has me dilate my gaze and look for a fireplace. pass by will lead me alive, and I go with a smile. Trust deep in your heart. Things will come as they are. Your love is alive. It lives in you as you are, as you are, as you are, as you are. The cold air makes me tingle. When I move my fingers, it's slow, but I'm using my muscles. This winter is longer, so I try to move. And I try to trust deep in your heart. Things will come as they are. Your love is alive. It lives in you as you are. Trust deep in your heart. Things will come as they are. Your love is alive. It lives in you as you are, as you are, as you are, as you are. God, you can hear my breaths and and I'm still not over it. My voice is still not working. But anyway, I tried to make the best of it. My throat was hurting after I recorded the first day. Then I waited a day and I recorded the next day. And it was a little bit better, but I had to. It was not a good idea. You should not do this. Don't do this at home, kids. I'm just being stupid. Anyway, here we go. This is a session. Let me get rid of this thing. So this is a session. What do we have? We have a Wurlitzer. We have a glass piano. We have a Celesta, as I have in pretty much every production nowadays. We have a delayed Celesta. We have drums, bass, drum additions, modular piano for the verse, an instrument called Mobius Blips, which sounds super cool. Then we have, what is this? Oh yeah, this is like a weird guitar harmonics, cello, violins, lead vocal, ethereal vocals, and then we have this choir, which is like trust deep in your heart, which is just like background vocals. And then we have a riser, or like the thing, which actually belongs up here. So let's go through them. It starts with just this weird instrument. It's from Labs, one of my favorite, and it's a modular piano shift pipe artifacts. I think it sounds like winter. So it's just the same melody as I have with the glass piano up here. So together, hold on, is this even playing? Yeah, it's very quiet. So that's the verse instrumentation along with the lead vocal. Then we have this melodical hook. So this is like the main melodic hook. And I added Celesta, which gives it a bit of a sparkle. You hardly hear the lower notes. They're more felt than heard, but it's a Celesta with a delay, a ping pong delay on it. And it just gives it this sparkly feeling that I love. And then I accentuated the melody with this modular piano sound and the Mobius blip, which is super fun. Boom. Boom. But then in verse 2, let me see, what did I do? We have the same glass piano melody, but added. We have all these instruments. So we have the modular piano, the Mobius blips, and we have this guitar thingy. Let me show you separately. It just makes it so sparkly. And then we have these two instruments. And together with the glass piano. And together with the... And to this I added the cello. Which I was trying to make something that one cello could play. Not entirely sure a cello can play this chord. Because cellos can play two strings at the same time. It might be doable actually. Because I may or may not have an opportunity to perform some of my songs live with cellos. And I have a coach, and she said she can definitely organize one. Technically, I would need 3 for the song I really want to do because of the way I arranged it. It's just so crazy when you arrange something in your DAW and you don't think about if it's going to be possible to play it live. You know, you can do all sorts of shit in your DAW. But then you should actually also be able to play it live if you want to do that. So that's something I paid attention to this time. And it's this cello, and then the last thing I added to this verse is the kick. And this kick, I put a ping pong delay on it as well. It just kind of adds a nice rhythm. So those are the verses. Again, it's such a simple arrangement. I always have really simple arrangements. Okay, and then we go into the melodic hook. I think these pauses are really impactful. When you come into this hook section after verse 2. Keep me alive, and I go with a smile. So all the instruments drop out when she sings, and I'll go with a smile. And then we have the same melodical hook coming back in, but this time with some percussion and with a bass and with the strings, and it just makes it sound more dramatic. But but it's not a lot more than it was before. It's really just this bass added, this drum added. Which you can hear, it also has that ping pong delay. I just really like that. I was gonna say for this song, but I just really like that in general. And the bass and the cello. So the other impactful part is the next pause. When you So when we go into the chorus, again, I did a drop out of all the instruments except for this delayed Celeste and this riser. And the riser is automated. Is it not automated? It's not automated. Forget it. I had 2 different risers that I automated, but then I decided I was going to use a different one. So never mind about that. But it's the riser and then the breath of this ethereal vocal that kind of just introduces the chorus alongside with a little tick-cha, tick-cha. So there's a crash here, but then there's a tick, tick-cha. Okay, so I like that. And I could have gone directly into the chorus here. Like this could be superfluous, but I just really wanted to hook this melody and just kind of, I don't know, it just feels more like a story when I have this little section in between. And it's like this hook is kind of making the emotional point for me because it's cute and at the same time sad and at the same time happy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like this bittersweet kind of melody. And she's, the character is like trying to smile, trying to make it through, but like winter is gonna get her because nobody has power over the environment. So this song is doomy. Okay, so then we go into the chorus, and in the chorus I felt like it wasn't heavy enough, and I added this velocity bass under the regular bass. So the regular bass is just this. And I added this velocity cut that is just. You can see down here, I boom, so I just added a little bit of rhythm. It still kind of hurts to talk. And then, of course, we have all the vocals. So all the vocals are... This is a group, which is basically singing the chorus. You can hear, like, my voice was not working. I was so sick.
Trust deep in your heart, things will come as they are.
And there's gaps in between because I was just like, I actually just wanted to get the idea down. I always just want to get the idea down. And then it kind of just takes a life of its own. And I end up
with something that I feel like is pretty close, actually, and just needs like finessing and mixing and polishing, kind of thing. And then we have the ethereal vocals in addition to that. And that was also just random stuff. I sang one up here and the other one down here. And then we have the lead that is singing the same thing as this group. So again, really simple. I just panned them. This is the lead. This is the ethereal. They're panned wide, but they're inside of the widest of this group. Oh yeah, because I put a delay on these. I put a delay on the high two voices. Just deep in your heart. So they're a bit distorted, and they have a bit of delay. And so they're enveloping the ethereal vocals, which are inside, which I thought sounded interesting. It kind of just meshed the voices, and then the lower one you can only hear, because it's low, it kind of dissolves within these ones. It kind of just adds to these ones as opposed to standing on its own. The higher one, you can hear it separate from these. But I just found it was a really interesting vocal landscape. So that's how I did it. And then we go into this section, which was a lazy section, but I awfully love it. I awfully love it because she's dying. And I think it worked really well because my voice wasn't working. And so this part came out so well.
So I tried to move.
Like my voice just died. It just died. And it was perfect. And I don't have anything here except for the delayed Celeste and the impact. Like there's nothing going on. You can hear it.
The cold air makes me tingle. When I move my fingers, it's slow. But I'm used.
And like the drama of the lyrics. And then we go back into the main theme. Beat up, ba beep, and she's dying.
And I try to.
I sang this one for the lead vocal, and my voice just died completely.
And I try to.
And I thought it was so cool. So that's it. The last chorus has some additions. The additions are the Mobius blip, my favorite instrument now. It sounds super stupid when you listen to it alone. But if you listen to it with the whole, let me turn off the vocals actually so you can hear it better. So it adds to the rhythm in a cool way. And I added this twinkly guitar sound, which doesn't sound like a guitar at all. But I added that. And then I added cellos, just an additional melody. It fades in. quiet. You can hardly hear it. It's more for feeling it than for actually hearing it out. Oops. So we have those strings, and then we have the bongo and the, what's it called? Darbuka. Bongo and darbuka, which are super jarring. The way they're mixed in is super jarring. I need to do something about, maybe I just need to turn them down, or I need to modify the sound or EQ them. But I always find if you have a rhythm that is like 4/4, because this is 4/4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then my song is 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in combination, rhythmically, just makes it so interesting. I love it. I just love it. I want to play drums in my next life, or in this life. I want to play drums so bad. That's it. That's all we have. The vocals are just an additional thing, an additional round of the same, basically, the ethereal vocals. I did something random again there. That was different from what I did there. I cut the breath in here as like an introduction to the thing. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I hope this was useful, because I never know if this is useful. But it's fun for me to watch it back at a later date and see what I did.
I hope you have fun. I hope you learned something and got your craft to the next level. It's just so fun to make a song every week. I'm gonna see you again next week. We only have 3 more songs to go, 8, 9, and 10. And I'll be back fully next week. I promise. Because I'm already feeling so much better. I was like dead. Okay. Any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to do this alongside other people, we have a WhatsApp group and we cheer each other on and we listen to each other's songs. So it's humans making songs alongside humans. Fuck AI. And you're welcome. If you want to join, get the book. The link is in the description down below. And then you'll get a join link. Okay, bye.